Niccolò Machiavelli, the infamous political theorist of Renaissance Italy, remains a figure of enduring fascination and controversy. Born in 1469 in Florence, Machiavelli lived through a tumultuous period of Italian history, witnessing the rise and fall of powerful families and the constant warring between city-states. His name is synonymous with ruthlessness, cunning, and the acquisition of power by any means necessary. This reputation stems largely from his writings, which have been interpreted as advocating for manipulative and unscrupulous tactics in the pursuit of political power. His most famous work, The Prince, serves as a guidebook for rulers on how to acquire and maintain power in a dangerous and unpredictable world. Written in 1513, it was a product of its time, reflecting the instability and power struggles that characterized Renaissance Italy. While written over 5 centuries ago, Machiavelli's insights into human nature and the dynamics of power retain a chilling relevance even today. His observations about the fickleness of allies, the necessity of decisive action, and the importance of perception continue to resonate in our modern political and business landscapes. Machiavelli's ideas are not meant to be taken as moral prescriptions, but rather as pragmatic observations about the nature of power. He was a realist who believed that understanding the true nature of power was essential for any ruler or leader. He believed that the pursuit of power is an immoral game, where traditional ethical constraints are often liabilities. In his view, a successful ruler must be willing to act against virtue when necessary, using deceit and manipulation as tools to achieve and maintain control. In the realm of politics, he argued, idealism must give way to realism, and the ends often justify the means. This perspective has led to the term Machiavellian, being used to describe actions that are cunning, strategic, and often unscrupulous. This essay will delve into the core principles of Machiavelli's political philosophy, exploring their application in the modern world. We will examine how his ideas have influenced contemporary political thought and practice, and how they continue to shape the strategies of leaders today. By examining examples from politics, business, and everyday life, we will see how Machiavelli's ideas can be both illuminating and unsettling in their ability to explain the dynamics of power. From boardrooms to government offices, his principles offer a lens through which we can better understand the often harsh realities of leadership and governance. Ultimately, Machiavelli challenges us to confront the complexities of power and the difficult choices that come with leadership. His work remains a crucial reference point for anyone seeking to navigate the intricate and often treacherous waters of political and organizational life. One of Machiavelli's most enduring concepts is the dual nature of the ideal ruler, embodied in the metaphor of the lion and the fox. This metaphor has transcended time, influencing leaders and thinkers across centuries. The lion represents strength, courage, and decisiveness, qualities essential for inspiring fear and respect. A ruler must possess the raw power to enforce their will and protect their domain from external threats. The fox, on the other hand, symbolizes cunning, deception, and the ability to outmaneuver opponents through guile and stratagem. This aspect of leadership is crucial for navigating the complex web of political intrigue and maintaining an edge over rivals. According to Machiavelli, a successful ruler must know when to roar like a lion, asserting dominance and quashing opposition with force. This means making tough decisions, sometimes unpopular, to maintain order and authority. However, they must also be able to act with the cunning of a fox, using deception, manipulation, and strategic alliances to achieve their goals. This involves being perceptive, adaptable, and always a few steps ahead of adversaries. In the modern world, this principle is evident in the realm of international diplomacy, where states often engage in a delicate dance of power plays, alliances, and veiled threats. Diplomats and leaders must balance hard power with soft power, using both military might and diplomatic finesse. Leaders who can effectively balance the projection of strength with the subtle arts of persuasion and manipulation are often the most successful in advancing their agendas. This balance is not just limited to politics, but extends to business, military strategy, and even personal relationships. Mastering the art of deception, therefore, is not merely about being deceitful, but about understanding human nature and the dynamics of power. Machiavelli believed that the acquisition and maintenance of power is a constant struggle, requiring ruthlessness, pragmatism, and a willingness to do whatever it takes to survive. His ideas, though controversial, have resonated through the ages, influencing not just political leaders, but also business magnates and strategists. He argued that it is better for a ruler to be feared than loved, as love is fickle and easily withdrawn. Fear, on the other hand, is a more reliable instrument of control, providing a steady grip on power. While fear is a more reliable instrument of control, it must be wielded wisely. A ruler who is feared but not hated can maintain order without inciting rebellion. This does not necessarily mean that a ruler should strive to be cruel or tyrannical. Instead, they must balance firmness with fairness, ensuring that their actions are seen as just and necessary. However, they should not shy away from using force when necessary to maintain order and eliminate threats to their power. The use of force, when justified, can be a tool to protect the greater good and ensure stability. Machiavelli believed that a ruler's primary responsibility is to the stability and security of the state. This overarching duty often requires making difficult and sometimes unpopular decisions, prioritizing the collective well-being over individual desires. Even if it requires making difficult and sometimes unpopular decisions, a ruler must act with the long-term vision of the state's prosperity in mind. This often means navigating complex political landscapes and making strategic alliances. In the cutthroat world of business, we can see echoes of Machiavelli's principles in the actions of CEOs who prioritize profits and market share above all else. Mergers and acquisitions, hostile takeovers, and aggressive marketing campaigns are just some of the ways in which businesses, like Machiavellian princes, seek to consolidate their power and eliminate competition. These strategies, while often ruthless, are seen as necessary for survival in a highly competitive market. Just as Machiavelli's ruler must navigate the treacherous waters of political intrigue, modern business leaders must maneuver through the complexities of the corporate world, always staying one step ahead of their rivals. Ultimately, the lessons from Machiavelli's writings remind us that power, whether in politics or business, is not easily attained or maintained. It requires a keen understanding of human nature, strategic thinking, and the courage to make tough decisions. In this ruthless game, only the shrewdest and most determined can hope to succeed. Section 4. The importance of appearances, public perception and power. Machiavelli understood the power of appearances and the importance of cultivating a public persona that inspires confidence and admiration. He argued that a ruler must appear to be virtuous, even if they are not, as the perception of virtue is crucial for maintaining the support of the populace. In today's world, where image is everything, this principle is more relevant than ever. Politicians spend millions on carefully crafted public relations campaigns using social media, speeches, and media appearances to project an image of themselves that resonates with voters. Businesses invest heavily in branding and marketing to shape public perception of their products and services. Section 5. The role of morality, a Machiavellian perspective. Machiavelli's views on morality are perhaps the most controversial aspect of his philosophy. He believed that traditional moral principles are often incompatible with the demands of power. A ruler, he argued, must be willing to set aside personal morality when necessary for the good of the state. This does not mean that Machiavelli advocated for amorality. Rather, he believed that rulers must operate within a different ethical framework, one where the ends often justify the means. In certain situations, he argued, it may be necessary to lie, cheat, or even resort to violence in order to achieve a greater good.